You're watching UATV News. My name is Ina Kosinska. Good evening. Russia has illegally occupied Crimea and continued to destabilize the situation in eastern Ukraine. NATO is concerned about such actions, says Secretary General of the organization, Jens Stoltenberg, at the meeting of the foreign ministers of the member countries of the alliance. He stressed that the Kremlin cynically disregards international law and does not respect the territorial integrity of neighboring countries, in particular Ukraine, Belarus, Moldova and Georgia.
Russia routinely engages in intimidatory military operations in the immediate vicinity of NATO and has enhanced its reach and capabilities for threatening airspace and freedom of navigation in the Atlantic. It has violated a number of major international commitments and developed an array of conventional and non-conventional capabilities that threaten both the security of individual NATO allies and the stability and cohesion of the alliance as a whole. Russia has amply demonstrated its ability and willingness to use military force and continues to attempt to exploit fissures between allies and inside NATO societies. It has also employed chemical weapons on allied soil, costing civilian lives.
The record number of the recovered from COVID-19 in Ukraine, 13,882 people over the past day. For the first time, this figure has exceeded the number of infected. There were 13,141 of them the day before. The capital, as well as Odesa, Kyiv and Zaporizhia regions, remain the leaders in growth. The Ministry of Health calculated how much does it cost to treat one patient.
Cardiovascular diseases rank first in Ukraine in a number of deaths, so we calculate how much it costs to treat a person, how much it costs to do everything to make a person recover. Depending on the course of this disease, the cost of treatment will rise from $770 to more than $4,000. Depending on the course of the disease, it takes into account all medicines, all without exception medical devices that are necessary for the treatment of this person.
Due to the stress, Ukrainians are losing their immunity, which is necessary to fight the coronavirus, and therefore it is difficult to find vitamins in drugstores. Will it help, or it is just another myth? My colleagues know more.
Marina has recovered from COVID-19 a week ago. All her family members have been ill with the coronavirus. She is sure that her daughter brought COVID-19 from school.
Approximately 3 weeks ago, it all started. Our daughter had symptoms for one day. The temperature was low and she had a runny nose. By the evening, it all started and ended. Therefore, we did not suspect COVID at all.
The whole family had a mild illness, no antibiotics or supplemental oxygen. The woman is sure that the immunity strengthened by vitamins helped.
We were treated with only vitamins, but we recall them not during the coronavirus period. As a mother of 3 and as I work a lot, I have no time to treat them constantly.
Nutritionists say that people who lead a healthy lifestyle and who eat right are likely to live through the coronavirus easily.
When we have a balanced diet, we consume enough fiber from cereals, vegetables and fruit. This is how we keep microbiome of our intestine healthy. A sufficient amount of fiber leads to the fact that good bacteria exist there well. If we do not receive additional fiber in large quantities, no matter how many probiotics we take, they will not be there.
A balanced diet is a guarantee of health not only during a pandemic, but also in everyday life. Due to stress, people lose their immunity.
Our body is an autonomous system hosting lots of defense mechanisms. It works endlessly, protects us from infectious processes, from mutating cells, without our participation and consent. The less we interfere with it, the less we create conditions for our body. When it functions according to its technical characteristics, the more efficiently it copes with diseases.
Perhaps the first advice that doctors give is not to panic. The second and main thing is to keep distance, wear masks and do not forget about hygiene. Reported by Roman Smoler, Inna Mazurkevich, UATV News.
Half a thousand accidents daily. Safety on Ukrainian roads is still very far from European standards, as well as the quality of the road surface. This was the case before the start of the big construction and the Ministry of Infrastructure's program on road safety. Our correspondent will tell about the first successes.
Every day, the 9 Ukrainians are killed in road accidents, 80 get injured. The Ministry of Infrastructure is taking the issue of the road safety seriously. For example, this year rescuers received more than 200 special vehicles equipped with everything necessary to save lives in case of accidents. The average call response for an emergency decreased from 32 to 12 minutes. Thus, we managed to save 541 lives. Safe interchanges, eliminated pedestrian crossings, implementation of a program for waiting trucks in motion, video cameras and much more. This year, the state program on road safety is being fully implemented for the first time in Ukraine. The number of violations has decreased fivefold in a year in 30 locations where we have installed video recording systems. This leads to decrease of accidents and, as a result of accident, deaths. The number of stationary video cameras will increase from 250 to 375 the next year. Roundabout interchanges building is another infrastructure project for road safety. Last year, they helped to get rid of 20 dangerous areas. This is the most effective method of reducing speed in accident areas. The roads in dangerous areas were widened. 5 places of concentration of road accidents were eliminated. By the end of the year, we plan to complete 955 lighting objects at pedestrian crossings. On October 21, the government approved a new strategy to improve road safety in the coming years. According to it, by 2024, the death rate in road accidents should be reduced by 30% compared to current figures. The global goal of Ministry of Infrastructure is to make our roads as safe as in Sweden, where the fatality rate on the roads is 0. Reported by Roman Smoler, Valery Bakus, UATV News.
A school for superheroes. A hospital in Dnipro city has provided its young patients with an opportunity to continue studying with the help of professional teachers. Our correspondent has also attended the lessons.
Nazar Chernyaev appeared in the oncology department after pneumonia. His mother says her son will spend the next year in hospital. But now the boy will not miss the school program. Lessons will be conducted in a hospital.
Today he is more positive, sparkling eyes, good emotions. This is all for the children, for their recovery, for their positive emotions. If he is in such good mood, he will know that everything is being done for him and he will recover faster.
There are now more than 50 small patients in a regional children's hospital. In order not to endanger their health, there are only 2 students in class at a time. They study on tablets.
We write, work with the interactive whiteboard, use tablets. We reinforce the material. We do everything this school requires.
Children attend classes only with the permission of doctors. Doctors say that before little patients had to forget about their studying process for a long time. Now they can keep up with their classmates. Now it will be a full-time education for children with technical opportunity which we now have. Not only education in classes, but also the possibility of online distance learning for these children. 1 ward was given to the class in a department. Money for repairs and equipment was allocated from the regional budget. By the end of the year, 3 more hospitals will open such classes. Reported by Roman Smoler, Natalia Husak, UATV News.
Excavations in the center of Odesa. Archaeologists are looking for the remains of the ancient Khadzhybey castle under the Prymorsky Boulevard. They believe that the modern history of Odesa started with storming of this fortress. Our correspondent visited the excavations.
Revealing a castle of the 15th century under Prymorsky Boulevard is the main goal of archaeologists. Historians have been arguing about where exactly the center of Khadzhybey settlement was located for 200 years. The castle may be quite close to them, in the very center of Odesa. This is a diagram by Osip Derebas. According to it, the fortress was taken in 1789. And here in center of Odesa, on the current Prymorsky Boulevard, there is a castle. Here it is indicated in a small print. The first finds are pre-revolutionary seal and nails. But in order to get closer to the main goal of the search, archaeologists want to reach a depth of more than 2 meters. If the GPR is right now we are above the wall. But there should be domes and gates in this particular place. Students were involved in the excavation as well, among them is Danilo. He says it is not an easy search, but the future archaeologist does not lose hope of making his first discovery. I'm waiting for positive and interesting finds. Hard work is going on now. But the more difficult the work, the better the result. If the expectation of archaeologists are true, an open-air museum will be created here, right on the Prymorsky Boulevard, as it was several years ago. The antique finds in the form of amphora were left on the boulevard under the sarcophag. Reported by Roman Smoler, Anna Horodentseva, UATV News.
That's all for this hour. More updates on our official website, YouTube, Twitter and Facebook pages. Stay safe and good night.